Ladies and gentlemen, you see, self-love isn't arrogance. It's awareness. It's recognizing that you are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece designed by a creator who doesn't make junk. Most people spend their lives searching for validation from others because they never gave themselves permission to feel valuable. But when you start loving yourself, something shifts. You stop chasing and you start attracting. Confidence isn't about being louder or bolder than others. It's about being secure in who you are when nobody's watching. It's the quiet belief that says, I am enough. Even when I'm not perfect. You've got to stop criticizing yourself for what you haven't done and start celebrating yourself for how far you've come. Self-love means setting boundaries, not because you hate people, but because you finally respect yourself. It means you stop begging for love and start becoming love. It means you understand that your peace is more valuable than their approval. Here's the truth. The way you talk to yourself becomes the way you experience your life. Every time you say, I can't, your confidence shrinks. But every time you say, I can, I will, and I must, your spirit grows. You've got to practice speaking life into your own soul. You can't expect others to clap for you if you keep booing yourself. Let me tell you something that will change the way you see yourself forever. Self-love is not arrogance. It's awareness. See, arrogance says I'm better than you, but awareness says I am valuable too. There's a massive difference. Arrogance compares, awareness acknowledges. Arrogance divides, but awareness connects. When you become aware of who you truly are, you stop fighting to prove your worth because you already know you were born with it. Most people go through life starving for validation. They chase likes, compliments, attention, and acceptance because deep down they've never accepted themselves. But here's the truth. If you keep waiting for other people to make you feel valuable, you'll always be bankrupt in your emotions. Value doesn't come from what people think about you. It comes from what God placed inside you. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece designed on purpose for a purpose by a creator who never creates anything meaningless. The reason most people can't walk in confidence is because they're trying to build their identity on temporary opinions instead of eternal truth. You have to stop letting people who don't know your story define your worth. When you understand who you are, you stop apologizing for being powerful. You stop shrinking to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. You stop explaining your light to people who are comfortable living in darkness. Let me remind you, there is nothing humble about pretending to be less than what you are. Playing small doesn't make people comfortable. It makes your spirit miserable. You were not created to blend in. You were created to stand out. God didn't give you potential so you could hide it behind fear. He gave it to you so you could multiply it with faith. That's what self-love does. It wakes up the greatness that's been sleeping inside you. When you truly love yourself, you no longer seek permission to exist. You stop begging for a seat at the table and realize you can build your own. Self-love gives you strength in silence and peace in pressure. It teaches you that rejection is just redirection, that comparison is the thief of joy, and that your worth doesn't decrease because someone failed to recognize it. Let me give you a truth bomb. The mirror can't lie, but your mind can. You look in that mirror and see flaws. God looks at you and sees foundation. You see imperfections. He sees potential. You see scars. He sees stories of survival. The moment you realize that your entire energy changes, you start walking differently. You start talking differently. You start believing differently because self-love isn't about ego. It's about alignment. Alignment with your purpose, your values, and your vision. If you keep criticizing yourself for what you're not, you'll never appreciate what you already are. You can't grow what you don't value. You can't protect what you don't respect. That's why self-love is the foundation of all confidence. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't shine from a broken spirit. When you love yourself, you refill your own cup with gratitude, grace, and growth. Here's the secret. People who love themselves don't need to impress anyone. Their peace becomes their power. Their presence speaks louder than their words. They walk into rooms not needing validation, but radiating value. That's what awareness does. It sets you free from performance and plants you in purpose. So if you're listening right now, I want you to pause for a moment and really hear this. You are not defined by your mistakes, your past, or your pain. You are defined by your potential. You are not here by accident. You are here by design. You are not missing something. You are becoming something. And the first step to unlocking that is learning to love yourself, not because of what you've done, but because of who you already are. Stop comparing, stop apologizing, stop doubting, start seeing, start believing, start becoming. Because when you become aware of your true worth, that's when confidence stops being an act and starts being your atmosphere. Listen closely. Confidence isn't built in comfort. It's built in commitment. Everybody wants to feel confident, but very few want to go through the process that builds it. Confidence doesn't come from what you say you'll do. It comes from what you keep doing when nobody's watching. It's the result of consistent obedience to your goals. Even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable, even when no one is clapping for you. Here's the truth. Comfort feels good, but it doesn't grow you. The gym of greatness doesn't have air conditioning. You build strength through resistance, not relaxation. Every challenge, every failure, every moment that tests your patience is a weight meant to build your character. Confidence isn't born in applause. It's forged in adversity. It's not about being fearless. It's about being faithful. Faithful to the process, faithful to your word, faithful to your purpose. See, most people wait until they feel confident before they take action, but that's backward. You don't get confidence and then commit. You commit first and confidence follows. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your spirit gets stronger. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you send a message to your mind that says, I can trust me. And trust is the foundation of confidence. You can't be confident in someone you don't trust, even if that someone is you. Let me give you a reality check. Success is not built on motivation. It's built on discipline. Motivation gets you started, but commitment keeps you going. It's not the loudest person who wins. It's the most consistent one. It's not the one with the biggest dream. It's the one with the deepest dedication. Comfort whispers, take it easy. Commitment declares, stay the course. Every breakthrough you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of your comfort zone. Confidence is like a muscle. It doesn't grow from what you intend to do, but from what you actually do. Every small act of discipline becomes a brick in the wall of your belief. When you keep showing up day after day, even when results aren't visible, that's when your confidence compounds. The world sees your results, but they don't see your repetition. They see your shine, but they don't see your struggle. But that struggle is sacred. It's what builds your strength. When you're committed, you stop negotiating with excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect time because you realize there is no perfect time. You stop trying to feel ready and start being willing to grow, willing to stretch, willing to be uncomfortable long enough to become unstoppable. Comfort is where dreams go to die, but commitment is where destinies are born. Let me tell you this, your confidence won't come from achievements. It comes from alignment. When your actions align with your values and your words align with your vision, confidence becomes your natural state. You don't have to fake it. You just have to live it. Confidence is not pretending to be strong. It's knowing that even when you're weak, you won't quit. Sometimes God won't remove the pressure because the pressure is what's producing your power. You're asking for confidence. But he's giving you challenges not to break you, but to build you. Every time you choose commitment over comfort, you become the version of yourself that can handle the blessings you've been praying for. Because if comfort could build character, everyone would be successful. But it doesn't. Commitment does. You've got to be willing to look foolish for a season if you want to be fearless for a lifetime. You've got to be willing to keep showing up when no one believes, when no one sees, when no one applauds. Because your commitment isn't for them, it's for you. It's for your calling. It's for your future. Confidence is earned through effort, not entitlement. It's not given, it's grown. So don't chase comfort, chase growth. Don't pray for an easier path. Pray for stronger steps. Because the same fire that feels like it's testing you is actually refining you. Every promise you keep, every goal you honor, every fear you face adds another layer to your confidence. And when you reach that point where your commitment becomes unshakable, your confidence will speak for itself. Remember, this comfort might make you feel safe, but commitment will make you unstoppable. And when you become unstoppable, that's when the world can no longer ignore the power of your purpose. Let me tell you something powerful. Your mouth is a magnet, and your words are the force that draws your future toward you. The way you speak about yourself determines how you experience your life. You can't speak defeat and expect victory. You can't talk about lack and expect abundance. You can't curse your path and expect to walk in peace. Every word you speak either builds your confidence or breaks it. Every sentence is a seed, and your life is simply the harvest of the words you've been planting. Most people don't realize that the biggest conversation they have every day isn't with other people. It's with themselves. The words you whisper to your own heart in the quiet moments are shaping your belief system more than any motivational quote or pep talk ever could. You can't talk down to yourself and expect to rise up in power. You can't keep calling yourself broken and expect to feel whole. You can't keep saying, I'm not enough, and expect to live like you are. You've got to change your internal dialogue if you want to change your external destiny. Here's the truth. Your tongue is steering the ship of your life. If you don't like where you're going, check the direction of your words, because your life moves in the direction of your declarations. You can't expect your confidence to grow if your words are constantly watering your fears instead of your faith. Speak life when you feel low. Speak power when you feel pressure. Speak victory when you feel vulnerable. That's how you rise above your circumstances. Don't wait for the world to affirm you. Start affirming yourself. Every morning you wake up, look in the mirror and declare, I am capable. I am chosen. I am enough. You don't have to feel it to say it. You say it until you feel it, because repetition rewires your reality. Every time you speak something long enough, your subconscious starts to believe it, and your confidence begins to expand. The reason so many people lack belief is because they've spent years feeding their minds poison disguised as humility. Saying I can't, I'm not ready, or I'm not worthy might sound modest, but it's actually self-sabotage in disguise. Let me give you a truth bomb. You can't expect other people to speak highly of you when you keep speaking lowly of yourself. The world mirrors the energy you project. When you carry yourself like someone with purpose, people begin to treat you like it. When you talk like a person with direction, doors begin to open that align with that declaration. Your words create your world, and your confidence is the echo of your declarations. Stop letting fear write your vocabulary. Stop letting doubt narrate your story. When negative thoughts try to take over, respond with faith. Don't just think better, speak better. Don't just dream bigger, declare bigger. Because faith comes by hearing, and sometimes the person who needs to hear your words the most is you. There will be moments when life tries to silence you, when everything in you wants to give up. And that's exactly when you must speak louder, not with noise, but with authority. The authority that comes from knowing that your words have power and your power has purpose. Every great transformation begins with a declaration. Let there be light wasn't just a sentence. It was a command that shifted creation. The same God that spoke worlds into existence gave you the ability to speak change into yours. You can either let your voice be the echo of your fears or the soundtrack of your faith. You decide. Every word you speak is a vote for the person you are becoming. So stop repeating the language of your limits and start rehearsing the language of your potential. Speak strength when you feel weak. Speak peace when you feel chaos. Speak success even when you're standing in struggle. Because words don't just describe your world, they define it. So speak life into yourself every single day. Speak it until your heart believes it, until your actions prove it, until your confidence reflects it. Because the moment your words align with your worth, that's the moment your confidence becomes unstoppable and the world begins to respond to the sound of your voice. Let me tell you something that might shock you. Peace is not found, it's protected. You don't stumble upon peace like a lost coin on the sidewalk. You build it intentionally, choice by choice, boundary by boundary. The truth is, your peace is your power. And if you keep giving it away to people, problems, and distractions that don't deserve it, don't be surprised when you feel empty, anxious, and off balance. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's sacred. It's the way you honor the gift of your own energy. You've got to stop letting people who add chaos to your life have front row seats in your story. Some people only show up when they need something from you and then disappear when you need something back. And yet you keep answering, keep giving, keep stretching until you break, not because they deserve it, but because you don't want to seem cold. But hear me, protecting your peace doesn't mean you're cold. It means you're conscious. You've realized your mental and emotional health matter just as much as your goals and your grind. When you start setting boundaries, some people will call you selfish. That's fine. Let them. Because boundaries aren't about controlling others. They're about controlling what gets access to you. You can't heal in the same environment that broke you. You can't grow in spaces that constantly drain your spirit. Sometimes you have to step back, not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know your peace is too expensive to give away for free. The truth is, you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Every time you allow disrespect, every time you stay silent when your spirit says no, you're giving permission for your peace to be disturbed. You've got to get comfortable saying, I love you, but I can't do that anymore. I respect you, but I need distance. I'm available for growth, not gossip. I'm available for purpose, not pity. When you speak like that, you stop being a people pleaser and start being a purpose protector. Let me drop this truth on you. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people are only meant to visit your life, not live in it. Stop renting out your peace to temporary people. Stop letting negativity take up permanent space in your mind. You can't elevate your life while entertaining what drains you. Peace is not passive, it's powerful. It's what gives you clarity to think, strength to act, and faith to keep moving forward even when things get tough. Protecting your peace means creating space for silence, reflection, and alignment. You don't need to respond to every message, attend every event, or explain every decision. Maturity is realizing that not everything requires your reaction. Sometimes the greatest show of strength is staying still and letting peace speak for you. The moment you start choosing silence over chaos, calm over confrontation, and boundaries over burnout, your confidence begins to expand. You start to glow differently, walk differently, think differently, because you've learned that not every battle deserves your energy. When you protect your peace, you start attracting different people who value your presence, not just your productivity. You stop chasing validation and start valuing peace. You realize that your time is your treasure, your energy is your currency, and your peace is your profit. The more peace you have, the more powerful your presence becomes, because peace amplifies purpose. And let's be honest, peace takes courage. It takes courage to walk away from drama, courage to say no, courage to be misunderstood. But every no you say to chaos is a yes to clarity. Every time you protect your peace, you're reminding yourself that your life is not a playground for other people's insecurities. You're not responsible for their reactions, only for your boundaries. So when people ask why you're distant, tell them you're not distant, you're disciplined. You're not cutting people off. You're cutting off access to your energy without investment. Because peace is not about isolation. It's about elevation. The more you protect it, the more you grow. And once you taste true peace, you'll never let chaos sit at your table again. Because when you start guarding your peace like treasure, that's when you begin to live like the masterpiece you were created to be. Let me tell you something freeing. You cannot move forward while you're still chained to your past. The truth is, some people aren't tired because life is hard. They're tired because they keep reliving moments that ended years ago. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you're still rewriting the one that broke you. Forgiving yourself isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's realizing that holding on to guilt doesn't make you strong. It keeps you stuck. Every time you replay your past mistakes, you rob your present of its power. You can't become who you're meant to be if you're constantly condemning who you used to be. Yes, you failed. Yes, you fell short. But that failure was a lesson, not a life sentence. You don't grow by being perfect. You grow by being persistent. God doesn't use flawless people. He uses forgiven people. And sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. Here's a hard truth. You can't heal what you keep hiding. You've got to face it. Forgive it and then free yourself from it. The longer you keep blaming yourself, the longer you delay your breakthrough. You are not the same person who made that mistake. You've learned, evolved, and grown. You've survived things that once shattered you, and yet here you are. That means there's still purpose in your breath and potential in your bones. You've got to stop identifying yourself by your lowest moments. You are not your past. You are your potential. You are not your pain. You are your progress. You are not your mistakes. You are your movement toward mastery. When you start seeing your past not as proof of your failure, but as preparation for your future, your entire perspective shifts. Every regret turns into revelation. Every scar becomes a sign of strength. Every wrong step becomes a roadmap to wisdom. Let me give you something real. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past. It releases its power over you. When you forgive yourself, you take the weight off your soul and make room for peace to move in. Guilt is heavy, and carrying it every day will crush your confidence. But when you let it go, your spirit stands taller, you breathe easier, you walk lighter, because you finally realize that you're worthy of the same grace you've given to everyone else. Stop beating yourself up for not knowing then what you know now. You are growing, you are learning, you are becoming. The process doesn't look perfect because it's not supposed to. You can't demand perfection from a person who is just trying to survive. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient with your progress. Growth isn't a straight line. It's a journey full of lessons, delays, and divine direction. Every wrong turn taught you something right. Every closed door protected you from something painful. When you forgive yourself, you take your power back. You stop letting the past whisper lies like you never change or you don't deserve better. You silence that voice with truth, the truth that you are evolving, improving, and deserving of a fresh start. You can't carry old shame into a new season. At some point, you've got to put it down and step into who you're becoming. And listen, forgiveness isn't a one-time event. It's a daily decision. Some mornings you'll have to wake up and remind yourself, I'm free, I'm forgiven, I'm focused forward, because your future deserves the best version of you, not the broken version that keeps reliving the past. When you release the guilt, your mind clears. When your mind clears, your vision sharpens. And when your vision sharpens, your confidence rises. The moment you stop punishing yourself for who you were, you give yourself permission to become who you're meant to be. That's the power of grace. It takes what was meant to break you and turns it into something that builds you. You are not behind. You are being prepared. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. And once you forgive yourself fully, you'll realize the past wasn't a prison. It was a classroom. It didn't end you. It educated you. It didn't destroy you. It developed you. So today, make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, choose to love yourself without conditions. Choose to speak over yourself words that lift, not limit. Choose to believe that you are capable, valuable, and unstoppable. Because when you love who you are, you unlock the power to become everything you were meant to be. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Fill yourself with love, and confidence will overflow.